Bertha Kalich was a Jewish actress born in Lemberg, Galicia. Though she was well established as an entertainer in Eastern Europe, she is best remembered as one of the several larger-than-life figures that dominated New York stages during the golden age of American Yiddish theater during the late 19th and early 20th century. Historians estimate that, during her career, Kalich performed more than 125 different roles in 7 different languages. Life in career. Early life. Kalich was born Bertha Kalich in what was then Austria-Hungary, the only child of Solomon Kalich, a paw brush manufacturer and amateur violinist. Her mother was Babette Kalich, a seamstress who often made costumes for local theaters. Babette was an active opera fan, and her devotion inspired a love for the stage in her daughter. They often attended performances together, and when young Bertha came of age, her parents scraped together their meager funds to send her to private music and drama schools. At age 13, she joined the chorus of the local Polish theater and later attended the prestigious Lemberg Conservatory. While still barely 18, Kalich sang in the chorus for La Traviata in the Lviv Polish Theatre Opera. A fellow actor, Max Gimpel, then offered her a job at his pioneering Yiddish-language theatre group, Jankiewicz Gimpel. During this period of her life, Kalich had been performing in Polish, Russian, and German, but when Gimpel's leading lady left for America, Kalich became his prima donna, winning the title role in Avram Goldfaden's operetta Shulemus. She was able to pick up Romanian in a matter of months, and was subsequently able to appear in major roles there with the State Theatre. According to historian Daniel Sawyer, she was such a success that anti-Semitic theatergoers, who had come with the intention of pelting her with onions, threw flowers instead. Kalich married Leopold Spachner in 1890 at the age of 16. They had 2 children, a son Arthur and a daughter Lillian. Coming to America even at that age, Kalich already had a major career in at least 3 countries and 4 languages. Her success prompted jealousies, however, and in 1894 there was rumored to be an assassination plot in the works by some of her rivals. Joseph Rumshinsky, whom she had met during her The Shulemus tour, introduced her to Joseph Edelstein of the People's Theatre, who offered to sponsor her to New York. His newly founded Thalia Theatre was looking for fresh talent, and there Kalich appeared in Die Wilde Königin, a Yiddish production of La Belle Hélène. She also took reprised former roles of Shulemus, Juliet, and Desdemona in a number of Yiddish-language productions. In her new home, Kalich set out to emphasize her dramatic skills over her musical talents, working hard as a proponent of the Yiddish theater movement, hoping to help the theaters gain credibility in addition to notoriety. Anti-Semitism in America had initially led audiences to believe that Jewish immigrants were incapable of producing anything more than lowbrow minstrel entertainment, but Thalia had made a name for itself with its revolutionary Yiddish-language translations of Shakespeare. Kalich played a number of roles in these landmark works, even beating out the other male stars for a chance to play the coveted role of Hamlet. According to Yiddish theater scholar Joel Berkowitz, Shakespeare's plays served as both sources and symbols in helping Jewish immigrants cross the bridge from Yiddish to American culture. It also didn't hurt that fans compared Kalich to another famous female Hamlet of the era, Sarah Bernhardt. And in fact many newspapers would go on to call her the Jewish Bogart in the years to come. In addition to her work with Shakespeare, Kalich's performance in Leon Cobrian's The East Side Ghetto won enormous critical praise and increased Kalich's fan base outside of the Jewish community. This production, in combination with her performances in playwright Jacob Gordon's didactic plays, brought unprecedented attention to the Yiddish stage. In 1900, she starred as Freda New in the premiere of Gordon's God, Man and the Devil, and that prompted Gordon to write the role of Etsy in the Kreutzer Sonata and the title role in his Sappho and Phaon especially for Kalich. These productions made it out of the Yiddish playhouses, going all the way to Broadway, and establishing Kalich as a household name. Along with her male counterpart, Boris Thomas Hexie, Kalich became a darling of the press, admired by her fans and critics alike. According to theater historian Henry B. Al, minorities in American had not yet seen such accolades. Her roles tended to be women of the world, such as the title characters she played in Pierre Berton and Charles Simon's plays Arza, Victorien Sardou's Fedora, Sappho and Phaon, and Magda in Hermann Sudermann's Heimat. Under the tutelage of Harrison Gray Fisk, she gained in reputation, eventually going on to star in plays such as Maeterlinck's Monavana. She picked up English easily, however, her accent was slow to fade. She worked with Minnie Madden Fisk for months to correct her speech, but was never completely successful. Kalich acted in a number of plays for Fisk, both original works and adaptations of roles that she had created in Yiddish. By 1910, though, she was having trouble finding suitable roles in the light American theater for her more emotional and tragic style. Though she would go on to work with heavy hitters like producers Lee Shubert and Arthur Hopkins, her Broadway career had already begun to fade. On the decline, Kalich left New York for Hollywood in 1914, where she appeared in a few notable films, including a reprise of her hit Broadway role in Martyr of the Lowlands. Success was short-lived, however, and by 1915, Kalich was frequently returning to Yiddish roles to supplement her income. Her mainstream success in the American theatrical world enhanced her prestige there, and she began to receive top billing at the Second Avenue Theater alongside stars like David Kessler. By the late 1920s, Kalich's eyesight was failing, and she gradually became blind. Though she officially retired in 1931, she continued to appear on stage occasionally, especially at evenings mounted in her honor that served to elevate her legacy in the Yiddish theater community. Late in her life, she recorded scenes from Goldfaden's historical plays for The Forward Hour on radio station WEVD. But her poor health meant that she needed to rehearse long, grueling hours even for short parts. Her last public appearance came on February 23, 1939, at a benefit for her at the Jolson Theatre, where she recited the final scene of Louis Untermeyer's poem, Heinz Death. Bertha Kalich died on April 18, 1939, at the age of 64 from undisclosed causes, and her remains were interred at Mount Hebron Cemetery in Flushing, Queens, New York. 1,500 people attended her funeral, considered a disappointing turnout, considering her status in the Jewish community. She had come to be seen as a relic of the theatrical past, with a manner too romantic and grand even for the Yiddish stage, Sawyer notes. But, nevertheless, in the prime of her career at the beginning of the 20th century, Kalich played an important role in efforts to improve the artistic standards of the Yiddish theater, whose status she also helped to raise with her success with English-speaking audiences. Works: Theater Fedora, revival by Victorien Sardou, Prod. George Fawcett. American Theater, New York. The 22nd of May 1905, May 1905. Monavana by Morris Maeterlinck, trans. John Severance. Prod. Harrison Gray Fisk. Manhattan Theater, New York. The 23rd of October 1905, December 1905. Giovanna. The Kreutzer Sonata, revival, adapted from the Yiddish play written by Jacob Gordon by Langdon Mitchell, based on a story by Leo Tolstoy. Dir. Harrison Gray Fisk. Lyric Theater, New York. The 10th of September 1906, September 1906. Miriam Friedlander. Sappho and Phaon by Percy Mackay. Music by A. Stanley. Des. Frank E. Gates. A. Morange, and Percy Anderson. Prod. Harrison Gray Fisk. Lyric Theater, New York. The 21st of October 1907, October 1907. Martyr of the Lowlands by Angel Gamera. Des. Frank E. Gates and E. A. Morange. Prod. Harrison Gray Fisk. Garden Theatre, New York. The 24th of March 1908 April 1908. The WITC, by Hans Weirs Jensen. Book adapted by Herman Hagedorn. Prod. Lee Schubert and J. Schubert. New Theatre, New York. The 14th of February 1910. Rachel by Karina Jordan. Prod. F.C. Whitney. Knickerbocker Theatre, New York. The 1st of December 1913 December 1913. The Riddle. Woman by Charlotte E. Wells and Dorothy Donnelly. Prod. George Musser. Harris Theatre, New York. The 23rd of October 1918 March 1919. Jitter's Atonement by George Bernard Shaw, adapted from the play by Siegfried Trebitsch. Dir. Lester Lonergan. Prod. Lee Schubert. Comedy Theatre, New York. The 17th of January 1923, February 1923. Jitterlenkheim. The Kreutzer Sonata, revival, adapted from the Yiddish play Jacob Gordon by Langdon Mitchell, based on a story by Leo Tolstoy. Prod. Lee Schubert. Frazee Theatre, New York. The 14th of May 1924 June 1924. Miriam Friedlander. Magda, revival by Herman Suderman. Trans. Charles Edward Amory Winslow. Dir. Edgar J. McGregor. 49th Street Theatre, New York. The 26th of January 1926 February 1926. Magda. Film The Bomb Boy by Bertram Milhauser. Dir. George Fitzmaurice. Manhattan Film Company, 1914. Martyr of the Lowlands based on the play by Angel Gimera. Dir. J. Searle Dawley. USA, 1914. Martyr. Slander, by Will S. Davis. Dir. Will S. Davis. With Eugene Orman and Mame Kelso. Fox Film Corp., 1916. Ellen Ayres. Ambition by Mary Murillo. Dir. James Vincent. Fox Film Corp., 1916. Marion Powers. Love and Hate by Mary Murillo, based on a story by James R. Gary. Dir. James Vincent. Fox Film Corp., 1916. Helen Sterling.